Welcome back to my channel. I am Jana and this is Jana Logic. Today I wanted to talk to you about what expectations I didn't have going off to BMT. It's a question I get often about the expectations I did have and whether or not those were or were not met. And often they are things on the grand scale, bigger picture. And there were a lot of things that I read about and either discounted because I was older or just things I didn't even consider that caught me a little bit off guard. And I just wanted to share those things. Some of them are specific to being a woman, so let me just put that out there right now. Before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to this channel, click the thumbs up if you enjoy the content of this video, and if you want to know when I post more, go ahead and click on that notification bell. So I'm just gonna start off with one of the funnier things that I did not anticipate, and that was the talk of poop. Like a lot. It was a conversation constantly. Maybe I was involved in so many of these conversations because I was so much older, definitely very parental. Maybe as a woman or even a guy, you might talk to your mom about your challenges going to the bathroom and ask their advice. They've been around a lot longer. Additionally, I have a background in fitness and am aware of dietary impact on your ability to go to the bathroom or not. And so many of the conversations I had revolved around the dietary habits of the other ladies in my flight. I would ask questions about what they were not eating, how much of certain things they were eating, and I found myself telling people to stop eating so many bananas. Additionally, I realized that a lot of young ladies didn't necessarily realize that consuming tons of white flour, minimal high fiber foods, not too many vegetables and fruits, didn't bode well for them when it came to being regular. The second part of that relates to being a woman in BMT because we are given iron pills. And that's something I also did not anticipate. We were given a bottle and instructed to take one daily. That said, you are not required to, and in fact, I personally made the choice not to take iron pills. I knew I've never been anemic, I've never had any type of iron deficiency. I know that my diet is well-rounded and provides enough iron. So I just made the decision not to take any. The other reason is I know that oftentimes taking iron will cause you to become constipated. And I did not want to just add more challenges to my day. So there were definitely ladies who would come talk about the poop issue, and I would encourage them to maybe just stop taking the iron for a few days to see if that helped. And definitely there were cases where that did help. So just something to think about and consider in advance. Again, something I did not expect or really think about until I got there because it's right in front of you. Very specific also to being a woman is menstruation. And there are a ton of videos that they talk about these things related to being a woman and going to BMT, but being so much older, I really didn't think this would have as much of an impact on me. But the truth of the matter is, I did not menstruate while at BMT or while in tech school at all. And again, being so much older, I didn't think that would have that much of an impact on me. Maybe I thought my cycle might change and things of that nature, but to completely have no menstruation really caught me off guard. I'm not complaining. I just didn't expect that. So what other things? So meal times. I was concerned about being able to consume enough food in a sitting. And that's because I've always been somebody who grazed. And that just means I would eat small meals throughout the day. Maybe one decent sized meal, but throughout the day, little bits here and there to add up to a total of normal calories. A few weeks before going off to BMT, I did start to eat 3 square meals a day. And that was just to get used to having that much food in my stomach at one time. I was still unprepared for the fact that you had to eat your meal in under 10 minutes. All the while, MTIs are all over the dining facility, screaming and yelling, and it's just a really unpleasant environment. And, your focus is on your food. You do not pick your head up, don't look around, don't make eye contact, don't talk. But I did learn to eat my food extremely quickly. In fact, they give you 10 minutes, but the reality is it's such an unpleasant environment, you'll learn to eat a lot faster. I was pretty good in being down to the 6 or 7 minute mark just because I wanted to get out of the DFAC. I mean, who wants to be around with all that yelling and screaming when you have the flexibility to leave the building and go back up to your dorm with a wingman, of course, in the meantime. So I just was really caught off guard by the environment as a whole, but my ability to learn to eat that quickly. One really big thing I did think about, but again, I was discounting in advance, and that was due to my age, was making friends. Not that I don't get along with people, I totally anticipated an ease in getting along with people, but developing extremely strong bonds was not something I expected. As you're getting ready to go off to BMT, you're spending time doing the memorization, and specifically the Airman's Creed comes to mind in reciting that. And I would practice it without my note cards, just standing in the mirror while putting on makeup or doing my hair or whatever the case was, so that it would just be something that easily flowed. And when I thought about the words that I was reciting, and please forgive me, this is prior to going to BMT, it felt very sorority. There's nothing wrong with sororities. When I went to college, I didn't join one. It just wasn't my thing. And I understand that the Air Force is not like a sorority. However, I believe there are probably some similarities in developing strong bonds during a period of time where you are in the same place as someone else in life. And it made me chuckle as I would think about it prior to going to BMT, that I'm not going to rah, these are my friends for life that I made at boot camp. Again, I'm thinking I'm 20 years older than most people. I'm going to get to BMT. I'm going to focus on what I need to do. I'm going to move on to the next thing. But the reality was the environment is conducive for becoming very emotionally connected to people. And that did happen. And it's not that those relationships end after BMT is over. In fact, I have several of those relationships that are still strong, and I still talk to these people regularly, and they were just bonds I did not anticipate having. So that was a really positive thing, and I'm grateful that those people are in my life, and I got to experience those things with them. And the last thing I would say that I did not anticipate is the humanity of the MTIs I mean, we all know they're human. We all know that this is their job, but you just expect they're there, they do their job, they go home, it's the end of it. But myself and the rest of my flight really became attached to our MTIs, and wanted to please them. We wanted to make them proud. We wanted them to be happy about what we accomplished individually and as a flight. And I really was shocked by that, because these are people you're anticipating are going to be yelling at you all the time. But what I found is that they're not just yelling at you. They're pouring into you. They're building you up. They're encouraging you. And it was more parental in nature, that they were helping you grow and become a better version of you. And you just wanted to make them proud with what you were doing and what you were saying. And of course, you didn't want them to yell at you, but you also knew that their yelling at you had to do with them making you better. So those were some of the things that I did not expect or had discounted prior to going to BMT. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And certainly if you have any funny stories of your own about having gone off to BMT and experienced things that you did not anticipate, go ahead and share those as well. I look forward to seeing you next time, and thank you for joining me.